Hi everyone, and thank you for clicking on my video today. If you're new, my name is Byron. I'm a vegan and I'm trying to lose around about 5 stone, which I'm currently doing, thank you Craddock, following the Slimming World following the Slimming World plan. Take 2. I'm currently on week 7 of following the Slimming World plan. I was lucky enough to get a 12-week free voucher from my local council, which was part of their Living Well scheme. So if you're considering maybe joining Slimming World or a similar programme, I would strongly recommend going onto your council website and seeing if they've got any similar offers. Week 6 was a wobbly one for me, as many of you will know. So I went into week 7 with a newfound sense of determination after giving my head a massive wobble and thinking, right, I'm going to reset and I'm going to start the week back 100% on plan. And that's what I've done over the week that we've just had. You might have seen some of the meals that I've had if you've looked at my shorts or if you've seen my midweek check-in video. It's been, and I'm sure wherever you are, if you're in the UK, you've been able to relate, but it has been a hot week. It's been a real struggle to keep my motivation this week, but I've managed it. I've been batch cooking, I've been reaching for fruit for snacks, I have been eating lots of salads, and I've done what I need to do for me to make those better choices. And those things are, and maybe this will encourage or motivate or support anybody else going through similar, especially in this weather when it's so much easier to think, I can't be bothered. The first thing that I've done is keep in the forefront of all of my thoughts the mantra that every choice that I'm making now, I'm doing for the future me. I'm doing for the me that I want to be, and I'm doing for the me that I deserve to be. And that's a lighter, more energetic, healthier me with a healthier BMI. I'm trying to stay laser focused on that outcome, and that's made it easier for me to make a lot of the choices that I've made over the last 7 days. The second thing that I've done is walk around everywhere with my trusty phone with me so that I can scan before eating. That was my week 6 issue. Eat now, scan later, deal with the consequences later. And considering I have this amazing device that does all the work for me, I'd be a fool not to use it as often as I can. So that's what I've been doing with my phone. To scan, check before I eat. And that's been really, really helpful for me as well. The third thing that I've done over this week is returning to my planning and prepping and organising ways. On Monday afternoon last week, and I'm going to do the same now after this video for the rest of this week, I didn't plan what days I was going to eat what particular meals, but I did plan what days I was going to batch cook meals on so that they could go in the freezer. And I planned and plotted out when I was going to have sins, what those sins were going to be, so that I'm not just scratching my head and thinking, what am I going to use my sins on? And then start eating something and struggle battling with that off switch, which is always a issue for me. So yeah, structure this week has really, really helped me. For those of you who don't know, I have several neurodivergent diagnoses, as well as anxiety and panic disorder, which I manage in lots and lots of different ways. I've got strategies and tools in my arsenal to deal with those. But whenever of those get a bit wobbly and I have a blip with any of those, usually structure, consistency, and food choices are the first things to get affected by that. So I've really taken the time this week to check in with myself daily in terms of my mental health, address where I might have wobbled, where there might be triggers, and try to find ways in advance of mitigating those, so that I don't go completely off plan. And I feel like it's worked. I've enjoyed all the meals that I've eaten this week. Where possible, I've focused on speed food. Where not possible, I've focused on free foods. And I was really interested this week to see that my assumption of 90% of fruit, for example, being classed as a speed food was a misconception. A lot of the fruits that I eat are just free foods, but I have really increased my speed fruit intake this week as well, which has been really nice to do, especially when I have just been dripping with sweat in this very sticky, very muggy, very close heat that we've had over the last few days. So weighing today, how did it go? So weighing this week, how did it go? Well, as my thumbnail and title of the video will have told you, it went very, very well. I got to the scales for week 7 and had lost 3.5 pounds, which I was thrilled with. I felt like it was deserved. I felt like I'd earned that 3.5 pounds, and it brings my total weight loss so far to 1 stone and 10 pounds, which is 24 pounds. 24 pounds, yep, in 7 weeks. I am beyond thrilled by that. When I started this journey of going to group 7 weeks ago, my plan was to make the most of the free 12 weeks that I was given, to view this as an opportunity to really make sustainable, impactful changes to my life that were needed, massively needed. And the goal that I set myself, and I do like to set high but realistic goals, the goal that I set myself over that 12 weeks was to lose 2.5 stone in that 3-month period. That would take me halfway to my goal of 5 stone. So I'm 4 pounds away from my 2 stone award, and I'm only 7 weeks in, so I feel like I'm really, really on track to see that goal come to fruition, and I can't wait. As a result of that weigh-in, I got more stickers, more certificates. So let me show you there. Let me lean forward. I got my 1.5 stone award, which is that one there. And I also got, which I was not expecting, my Club 10 award. So for those of you who don't follow Slimming World and might not know, these are my certificates. Your Club 10 award is what you receive when you have achieved a loss of 10% of your weight and gained many health benefits. So you get your Club 10 when you've lost 10% of your starting weight. And if you can keep that off for a further 10 weeks, you then get a free week at group. And they remind you of that, apparently. So I will look forward to that free week in 10 weeks' time. So overall, it was a really, really good day on the scales for me. I couldn't stay to group because of work commitments, which happens. I can't do anything about it. If I'm called into work, I need to go to the earliest weigh-in window and then run off to get the train. If I'm working from home, it frees up all of that commuting time, so I'm usually able to stay to group and still be home for 9 a.m. But this week I didn't have the opportunity to do that. One of my group friends did message me to say that had I stayed, I would have been Slimmer of the Week, which is a lovely feeling. But I hope that the basket and that award went to somebody deserving. I'm sure whoever got it, they will be deserving and appreciative of that, as I was in absentia, I guess. So yeah, that's where I'm at with my statistics so far. I also had a bit of a non-scale victory for me this week. You can't really see me in full view at the moment because obviously I'm sat down. I may in future share, some more telling photos of me from a few months ago, when I feel a bit more comfortable and I've solidified my weight loss journey a bit more. But at the moment, you can just kind of see my moves and my rolls from a front elevation view. But my non-scale victory, which I will share, even though it's still nowhere near where I want to be, and for me it's a bit not embarrassing because it's an improvement, but my waist measurement circumference is now down to 46 inches, which is still large. You know, for a lot of my adult life, I had a 32-inch waist, so 46 inches is still a lot of visceral fat that I need to get rid of. But I have gone down from 54 inches around my waist, which I'm really, really pleased about that. It means that I am seeing real change happening in front of my eyes, and that is one of the things that's motivating me to continue taking this plan seriously. The other thing that is motivating me is you, all the people watching, listening, liking, subscribing, and above all, leaving me comments are just so amazingly generous with the time and the support and the experience that you are providing me with on this adventure, really. It's keeping me accountable, it's keeping me focused and making really, really good choices. And whether or not you are a target member on Slimming World, if you're struggling on the Slimming World plan, if you're following a completely different weight loss plan, or you are not trying to lose weight at all, the fact that you take time out of your day to watch my videos, to leave me a comment, to share with me your own knowledge, your own tips and experiences, and give me words of encouragement, has on more than one occasion led me to get quite emotional, and just filled with warmth and drive. So thank you again so much for that. Mind-blowing. Thank you. That brings me on to the week ahead. I'm staying focused for me, for group, for the future me that I deserve to be, and for all of you people who are supporting me in whichever way you are choosing to do so. If you're rooting for me, thank you. I'm just going to see what happens. I'm just going to go and batch cook now for the afternoon, so that I've got meals ready in either the fridge or the freezer. Fortunately, it's a cooler week for us here right now. It's still muggy and it's still a bit sticky, but it's nowhere near as obscene and repugnant to me as the heat was this week. I do have a new product that I was going to try, but I'm not, because it's not on the app yet. For those of you who can't see this, it's called Supergood Plant-Based Scramble. It comes in a small Tetra pack. It's 500 mils, and it's a vegan alternative to scrambled egg, which is made predominantly of, well, the first three ingredients are water, aquafaba, which is the water that chickpeas are soaked in, and pea protein. I did the sins estimator on it, and it came up as 5.5 sins per 87 mil or 83 mil serving, which I thought seemed quite high. So I did submit it through the app. You take photos of the front and the back and the nutritional info. So hopefully I'll get a response for this, because I'm not going to make the mistake of trying it before I know exactly how many sins are in this. Oh, and I forgot to say as well, so I've just added this in now at the end. Nikki in a vlog mentioned to me when I was talking about my overnight oats, for me to try the old Slimming World favourite, the Post grape nuts. I've never tried them before, but I remember from years ago when I used to follow YouTubers on Slimming World, them being quite viral at the time. So I managed to get some, and I tried them this morning in my overnight grape nuts, and yeah, they were really delicious, a really nice change. Would recommend, but they were quite pricey in Morrison's compared to a normal cereal. I think they were £3.95 for a 400 gram box, maybe. It's in the kitchen. I don't know why I'm sort of squinting here, because with my eyesight I can barely see the webcam, so I'm not going to see what size box is through there at all. But yeah, they were expensive, so they wouldn't be a regular on my shop, but I'm going to keep them in the cupboard, and they definitely, I might have them like once a week, because I do really like them. They are like sort of cheesecake base, so with my Alpro yogurt they've just been mwah, chef's kiss. Anyway, look at her. Hey. So I am going to jump back out. This will be a big continuity confusion moment. Back to the video. I'm going to leave it there for now. But from me for now, thank you. Your continued support is just what's keeping me going on this journey. So my successes are your successes, really. So thank you. Please join me for a future video, and if you've got the time and the inclination, to subscribe if you haven't already, and please leave me a comment below, and let me know how you're getting on this week, and we will catch up soon. Okay, all the best. Bye bye.